Hello everyone, my name is Shay Sullivan, and today I'm going to give a summary of my research titled Feminine Spaces, Women at the Heart of the Modern Metropolis. Within the realm of the city, modernist authors sought to explore the developments of modern life. The portrayal of women in modernist literature is a prime example of how developments toward modernity affect how characters are represented. Authors such as Virginia Woolf of England and Irmgard Keun of Germany bring women to the forefront of their novels, exploring different representations of female subjectivity through their various protagonists. In both Virginia Woolf's Mrs. Dalloway and Irmgard Keun's The Artificial Silk Girl, the authors present the inner lives of their female characters as well as how these inner lives are affected by the surrounding environments. However, the focus on female subjectivity by modernist authors is not always recognized or prioritized. The modernist fiction of women, if detected at all, is often not adequately decoded, often ignored or overshadowed by male writers. Not only is the presence of women within modernist literature often disregarded, but the spaces of the modern cities themselves were also often seen as male spaces. However, while many scholars of modernist literature consider it to be a field created, explored, and dominated by men, with women often largely excluded or totally ignored, I believe that female modernist authors actually use new and innovative modernist forms in their own literature in order to express and assert female space within the larger modern society. In their respective novels, Virginia Woolf's and Irmgard Keun's female protagonists claim their cities of London and Berlin respectively for themselves. In this way, these female authors allow their female protagonists to declare these urban spaces of the cities as their own, putting women at the center of modern literature and of modern life itself. The concept of phenomenology is key to more accurately understanding the ways in which the city can influence the experiences of the characters in the fiction of Woolf and Keun. Essentially, phenomenology is the study of how we experience our lives based on the things with which we interact, experience informed by both the interaction with and the reflection over these things. In understanding the theory of phenomenology, we can better conceptualize how the characters in modernist fiction experience the city in a phenomenological way. One of the main ways in which the protagonists of Woolf and Keun's respective novels interact with and claim the space of the city in a phenomenological way is through their participation in the act of flânerie. Flânerie, an activity restricted to and defined by its presence in the city, has often been discussed as a means of immersing oneself in urban space in order to understand and reflect upon the complexities of modern life. This figure walks idly through the city, listening to its narrative. Flânerie is a means of understanding the modern world by immersing oneself in it. To experience the city is to experience modern life. However, while the phenomenological activity of flânerie allows the walker to consider modern life and introspect, it is not often considered an activity available to all individuals. In fact, the observer of the city is critically regarded as an exclusively male figure. Furthermore, many scholars of modernism regard the possibility of a female participant in flânerie, a flâneuse, inconceivable due to the imposed societal limitations on women in public spaces, understanding women as victims of the societal power dynamic of public space that is fundamentally inequitable for hosting them. While many theorists argue that the ability to take part in flânerie as a female is an impossibility, in their respective novels, both Virginia Woolf and Irmgard Keun allow the female protagonists to explore, reflect upon, and become one with the cities of London and Berlin, actions which I believe inherently characterize both of these women as flâneuses. Reading the protagonists of Woolf's Mrs. Dalloway and Keun's The Artificial Silk Girl as flâneuses brings these female characters to the center of the modern city. In their novels, these female protagonists' senses of identity are closely connected to their respective cities. These characters are put both literally and figuratively at the center of the modern space of the city, intertwining the city with women and female identity. This phenomenon is true regardless of nationality, class, or age, for the authors and for the characters themselves. In Mrs. Dalloway and The Artificial Silk Girl, Woolf and Keun craft the modernist literary forms and conventions to serve their feminist ends of allowing women to occupy spaces in which they have historically and even currently been denied. As these authors, through their use of technique and subject matter, demonstrate, modernist literature in the space of the city and the activity of flânerie is not the sole property of the male, but rather flânerie is a major modern feminist strategy that asserts the understanding that women have an equal place in and a right to these academic fields and city spaces. In this way, Woolf and Keun create a new kind of feminist modernism in which women assert their place within the larger discourses of modernism and the space of the city. Thank you for listening to my research.